Welcome to a musical journey through time where we explore the intriguing stories behind iconic songs that once found themselves banned on the radio waves. These timeless tunes, celebrated for their cultural impact, faced censorship and controversy due to their daring lyrics and themes. Facts First presents iconic hit songs now banned from playing on the radio. Louie Louie. Louie Louie, the timeless rock and roll anthem by the Kingsmen, found itself at the center of a whirlwind controversy in the early 60s. Released in 1963, the song's fast-paced, raw energy and its seemingly indecipherable lyrics stirred up speculation about hidden explicit meanings. Concerns about the supposed obscenity prompted an FBI investigation. Despite the exhaustive probe, the investigation yielded no conclusive evidence of any inappropriate content in the lyrics. But the controversy surrounding Louie Louie led to its temporary ban on several radio stations. The ban only served to fuel public interest, turning the song into a symbol of rebellion and defiance against censorship. Over the years, it's become an enduring classic, celebrated for its infectious beat and energetic spirit. My Generation. My Generation by The Who, a defining anthem of 1960s counterculture, faced its own share of controversy and censorship. Released in 1965, the song's rallying cry of "Hope I die before I get old" struck a chord with the youth, encapsulating the rebellious spirit of the era. But its perceived anti-establishment sentiment and rejection of societal norms led to the song being banned on certain radio stations. The lyrics of My Generation were seen as a direct challenge to the status quo, prompting concerns about its potential influence on younger generations. Some radio stations, fearing the song's rebellious message, chose to prohibit its broadcast. Despite the ban, the track became an anthem for a generation seeking change and pushing against the conventions of the time. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by the Beatles, released in 1967, faced a wave of controversy and temporary bans on the radio due to its perceived connection to drug culture. The acronym LSD, formed by the song's title, led to suspicions that the lyrics were a veiled reference to the hallucinogenic drug LSD. Despite the Beatles' denial of any intentional drug-related content, some radio stations were cautious, and the song faced bans in various regions. The controversy surrounding Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds became emblematic of the cultural tensions of the 1960s, with authorities and conservative groups concerned about the influence of psychedelic music on the younger generation. However, over time, the song's legacy shifted, and it's now widely regarded as a masterpiece of psychedelic rock, appreciated for its imaginative lyrics and innovative musical arrangement. The banning of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds ultimately contributed to its mystique, highlighting the era's struggle between traditional values and the emerging counterculture. Today, the song stands as a testament to the Beatles' artistic experimentation and the transformative nature of 1960s music. Lola. The Kinks' Lola, released in 1970, delved into themes of sexuality and gender identity, sparking controversy that resulted in bans on certain radio stations. The song tells the story of a young man's encounter with a transgender woman named Lola, exploring non-traditional gender roles and fluidity. In an era where discussions of such topics were often considered taboo, the explicit nature of the lyrics led to concerns and subsequent bans. Lola confronted societal discomfort with gender nonconformity, raising eyebrows and provoking censorship. Some radio stations opted to ban the song, reflecting the conservative attitudes prevalent at the time. Despite the bans, Lola went on to become one of the Kinks' most iconic and enduring hits. Over the years, Lola has evolved into a symbol of acceptance and celebration of diversity, transcending its initial controversy. The song's legacy lies not only in its catchy melody and clever storytelling, but also in its role as a cultural touchstone challenging conventional norms. God Save the Queen. The Sex Pistols' God Save the Queen, released in 1977, became a lightning rod for controversy and was met with widespread bans on radio play. The punk rock anthem, released during Queen Elizabeth II's Silver Jubilee, was a scathing critique of British society and the monarchy. Its confrontational lyrics and anti-establishment message struck a nerve, leading to the BBC and other broadcasters refusing to air the song. The controversy surrounding God Save the Queen reflected the broader countercultural tensions of the time, as punk rock emerged as a defiant voice against perceived societal stagnation. The song's aggressive tone and rebellious spirit were seen as a direct challenge to the establishment, resulting in it being suppressed on mainstream platforms. Despite, or perhaps because of the bands, God Save the Queen became an iconic symbol of punk's rebellious ethos and resistance to authority. Rocky Mountain High. Rocky Mountain High by John Denver, released in 1972, faced unexpected controversy and temporary bans on some radio stations. The folk rock anthem celebrated the beauty of the Colorado Rockies and the serenity found in nature. But the controversy arose due to misinterpretations of the lyrics that suggested a possible endorsement of drug use, particularly marijuana. The perceived allusions to drug culture prompted several radio stations, especially in conservative areas, to ban the song. This move reflected the heightened sensitivities surrounding drug-related themes during the early 70s. John Denver, surprised by the reaction, clarified that the song's lyrics were inspired by the experiences he had in the Rocky Mountains and had no connection to drug use. It overcame its initial controversy to become one of John Denver's signature songs. I Wanna Break Free. I Wanna Break Free by Queen, released in 1984, faced controversy and temporary bans on radio play, particularly in the US. The song, known for its anthemic chorus and catchy melody, was accompanied by a music video that featured the band members dressed in drag, playfully embracing different gender roles. The controversy stemmed from the conservative attitudes prevalent in the 1980s, as some radio stations perceived the video's cross-dressing theme as provocative and potentially offensive. This led to a reluctance to air the song, particularly in markets where the video's content was deemed too controversial for mainstream audiences. Darling Nikki. Darling Nikki by Prince, released in 1984 as part of the Purple Rain album, stirred controversy and faced bans on some radio stations. The song's explicit lyrics and sexually charged content, including references to self-pleasure, raised eyebrows, and drew criticism from conservative groups and parents. Co-founder of the Parents Music Resource Center cited Darling Nikki as one of the songs contributing to the need for explicit content labels on album covers. The song played a prominent role in the broader debate on music censorship and parental advisory labels. Over time, Darling Nikki has become a symbol of Prince's boundary-pushing artistry, reflecting his commitment to artistic freedom and willingness to challenge societal norms. Now it's time to hear from you. Which one of these banned songs was most surprising to hear about? Let us know in the comments section below.